Hi, I'm Chris Katulka with the Friends of Israel, and this is an Eye on the Middle East. Israel has been the centerpiece of international news with the new government's proposal to reform the judiciary. The Guardian reported Israel unveils controversial plans to overhaul judicial system, warning that changes to Israel's Supreme Court would weaken the country's democracy. An NPR headline read, Israel's far-right government wants the power to override its Supreme Court, claiming that Israel's most far-right government in history wishes to fundamentally alter Israel's system of government by undermining the powers of the judiciary. The Los Angeles Times published a headline, Is Israel's new government destroying democracy? A title that's purposely designed to make you think Netanyahu's government is acting in bad faith, eroding the democratic foundations of the country after only a few months in power. With all these negative headlines from the foreign press, one might start to believe Israel's longest-serving prime minister has gone off the rails with the permission of his coalition. So is Netanyahu intentionally destroying Israel's democratic foundations, or is he attempting to strengthen them? If judiciary reforms are meant to erode Israel's democratic foundations, then the litmus test will be whether or not the voice of the Israeli people is restricted. Well, here are the two main judiciary reforms the Netanyahu government is proposing to change. The first is this: the way the new Israeli Supreme Court justices are appointed. Currently, a Supreme Court judge is selected by a committee that is comprised of lawyers and select Supreme Court justices. Essentially, new justices are appointed by sitting judges with very little oversight by elected representatives, which stifles the voice of the Israeli people. Israel's Supreme Court justices appoint who they wish to see fill the vacant seat, creating a high court that's built on nepotism, not democracy. The proposed judiciary reform also adds the much-needed checks and balances to Israel's Supreme Court. In the 1990s, Aaron Barak, who served as Israeli Supreme Court president, led what he dubbed a, quote, constitutional revolution, which gave the High Court the power to overturn any laws established by Israel's legislative branch. A blatant overreach of power which stifles again the voice of the government the Israeli people elected. Josh Hammer, in his Newsweek editorial, called it a juristocracy, where a nation's Supreme Court rules the roost. Well, here's my take. Interestingly, an Israeli poll found that the Israeli Supreme Court approval ratings continue to freefall, down to a historic low of 40%. While Israelis stress concerns about government power over the judiciary, 84% of Israelis believe the judicial system is in need of an overhaul, and only 22% support everything in the proposed reform. The judiciary reforms are designed to give more voice to the people. Netanyahu's move here is to give power back to the people, to break apart the elite committee of judges, and to give voice to the Israeli people.